So it's no great secret that Astro Bot might have been just a little bit inspired by Mario. I may have even made a video pointing out a similarity or two. But that doesn't mean that Astro Bot isn't great in its own right. Hell, it might even do some things better than Mario. Specifically, 6 of them, which I wouldn't mind seeing incorporated in the next 3D Mario game. The main collectible in Astro Bot are these adorable little guys. And they're way better than the boring ass stars or green stars or shine sprites or star medals or shine shards or whatever else that Mario's been finding for nearly 30 years. Grabbing a star is essentially just checking a box that says, yep, you did it, you beat the level.
Yay!
Whereas rescuing each of these adorable little guys feels like a mini rescue mission in and of itself. You want to save them because they're actual characters who are in trouble and require immediate assistance, unlike the stars or whatever who just sit there like the inanimate objects they are. The star shines and cat sprites are just a means to an end, having no direct relevance to the story. Whereas the robots rescue here are the story, and therefore feel so much more impactful when you find one. They're actual characters rather than just a trophy.
I am not a prize to be won.
Furthermore, while much of the time they look like this, at other times it's f***ing Nathan Drake or someone else, meaning they're not all the same generic type and come in a wide array of forms. And that attention to detail is absolutely fantastic. So what do you say we ditch the stars and replace them with something that's inherently more meaningful to the Mario universe? Something with an actual personality. You know, kinda like how Kirby and the Forgotten Land also did with its collectibles? Oh, so that's where Astro Bot got it from. Imagine a Mario game where the story involves Bowser kidnapping a ton of toads, like say the entire kingdom's worth, and it's up to Mario to go find and rescue each and every one of them. It would instantly make the collectibles more fun and rewarding and give them that proper charm that the Mario games are otherwise well known for. And in a way, it would serve as a fun throwback to the original Super Mario Bros. Although the rescue would be a little less accidental this time. And maybe as the recent Thousand Year Door remake suggested, Nintendo could even return to making unique looking Toads too. Or heck, it doesn't even have to be just Toads, because we could incorporate citizens from other kingdoms too, like penguins or Toastarians or any number of others. Astro Bot feels great to play for any number of reasons, and one of the more important but subtle ones is how freaking active and interactive the world is. You'll find platforms that literally dance around, along with levels that build themselves as you progress through them, and entire areas that transform in front of your very eyes. And then there's how there's interactive stuff littered everywhere, from piles of leaves to ice cream sprinkles to casino chips and plenty of others. And I'll never get tired of pissing off this poor bricklaying robot. It all helps to create the feeling of a world that's far more than just a static 3D model. It's actually very similar to the praise I've given to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, where nearly every platform will react in some way to your presence, only now realized in a fully 3D space. And I would love to see Mario adopt a similar presentation for his next 3D outing, especially if it ends up being Mario Galaxy 3. How about we get some moons that actively orbit those planetoids? Or maybe an asteroid that Mario can catch a ride on as it hurtles through space. Hell, why not let Mario play around in a massive asteroid field where jostling even just one of them could cascade into the entire field of them bouncing around? When it comes to Nintendo, the possibilities are endless. Look, for as cute as Astro Bot's constant self-referential nature is as a PlayStation game, there's probably an argument to be made that Astro Bot might take it a little too far at times. I get that the PlayStation 5 is physically humongous, but does it literally need to be a spaceship? That aside, I won't deny that I had a blast at how often Astro Bot references and repurposes ideas from other games. Whether explicitly, like with the magical boomerang axe from God of War, or the shooter-based gameplay from Uncharted, or even implicitly with some powers that are suspiciously close to some non-Sony games. Like this one, which is basically just arms in platformer form. My point is that although I love Mario games for how innovative they can be, there can also be fun and creativity to be had in repackaging ideas from elsewhere too. Mario 3D Land flirted lightly with the idea with a Zelda dungeon-inspired stage, but that's just the tip of the iceberg in what could be a Nintendo-inspired bonanza. And it doesn't have to be only Nintendo games. Hell, this entire video is about what Mario could borrow from Astro Bot. And when it comes to Astro Bot's unique powers, I think none are a better fit for Mario than the mouse suit, which as you might have guessed, shrinks Astro Bot down to the size of a mouse. And this power absolutely blew me away with how creative it could be, and how using it could recontextualize an entire area. Honestly, its implementation here was absolutely brilliant, and I think something like that is a natural fit for a game series that's historically been all about changing sides. So come on Nintendo, let's make that one happen. The Mario games have had some terrific boss fights over the years, and a few mid ones too. but the Mario Galaxy games specifically might represent some of the very best of the entire series. And yet, even they have been almost entirely outclassed by Astro Bot's incredible boss battles, as they have undeniably raised the bar, by a few miles, as they all feature King Kong-sized adversaries inside ever-changing environments that often span multiple arenas, with attack profiles that change nearly as often to keep you on your toes. And they pull it off without it ever feeling overly complex or overwhelming. Instead, they're challenging, thrilling, and most importantly, fun. And this is one area that the next 3D Mario absolutely has to take notes on. Otherwise, the boss fights could end up feeling completely underwhelming by comparison. There aren't many games that are as fun, joyful, and charming as a 3D Mario game. And yet, Astro Bot not only gets damn close, but it might even exceed Mario in at least one area. Because while finishing a level in a Mario game feels good, in Astro Bot it feels amazing. Probably because there's an entire freaking party at the end of each stage, with how all the robot friends you've rescued popping out to join you in celebration, including a few local NPCs too. And that's not even all of it, because the entire final area often magically transforms in celebration too. It's not only impactful and genuinely awe-inspiring, but it helps provide one final cathartic moment to cap off the mini journey that you just went on. And I'm not gonna lie, but playing around with all of these apples made me feel like a kid in a ball pit again. And we're not done yet, because every stage has one final mini challenge for you at the very end, awarding a bonus if you time your departure just right. It's a small thing, but it feels like the exclamation mark at the end of a great time. And it's something Nintendo has largely forgotten with the move to 3D. Whereas the 2D Mario games always used to feature some kind of final challenge. And I would love to see this brought back for the 3D Mario games. Even though Mario practically invented the idea of a hub world, the series has kind of let them fall by the wayside ever since Mario Galaxy 2, dropping them in favor of simpler, more streamlined world maps. Which is fine, but it feels like something was lost in the process. But what if you could have your cake and eat it too? Well, that's exactly what Astro Bot proves is possible by featuring the best of both worlds. By having a simple world map that makes navigating levels a breeze, while also featuring a large central hub they can return to at any time for key story moments, fun rewards, customization like changing outfits or your ship, and more. All on top of discovering a ton of secrets to uncover. It's basically perfect. And this is exactly what Mario could use if the developers intend of sticking with a world map. A central safe place they can return to for a break from the action, whether to enjoy the fruits of your progress, look for some secrets, or something else. Ironically, the Mario game that started this hub-free trend isn't all that far off the mark, with Starship Mario being a central location that you return to between missions. The thing was, there just wasn't a whole lot for you to do on the tiny spaceship beyond talking to a handful of characters you picked up across your journey. Which, hey, was a cute touch, but there is so much more potential to it. Like, just imagine if a desolate Mushroom Kingdom slowly became repopulated with the toads and other citizens that you rescued along your journey, who could then open up shops for you to visit, or maybe construct new pathways for you to explore. A little bit like how Nintendo also explored in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Huh, Astro Bot's more similar to that than I thought. The possibilities really are endless, especially with how it could factor into the story and even the end-game boss fight. Imagine a scenario in which, without yet fighting the final boss, you've managed to rescue all the toads, which greatly upsets this guy, causing him to come directly for you along with everyone else in one final attack on the Mushroom Kingdom. It could make for a truly epic way to end the game, by having you fight back to protect the Mushroom Kingdom and the very toads that help build it back up from nothing. But hey, it's just an idea. So there you go everyone, the 6 things that I think Astro Bot possibly does better than 3D Mario, along with a few ideas of how Mario can incorporate it themselves. But what do you think of these ideas? Do you agree with them? And is there anything else that you think Astro Bot does better than 3D Mario? Let us know in the comments below. And with that, thanks for watching, and of course make sure to click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and stay tuned right here for more fun features.